Ladies and gentlemen, this story actually came out on my birthday on August the 10th. Very crazy story out of South Carolina. I need to forewarn you guys that the details in this story are probably going to bother you a bit. So I need to give a disclaimer. I want you guys to take a look, read that, pause it if you need to. But you might find my content controversial or offensive, but I'm getting this from credible sources. I'm using this story is going to have my personal opinion about the facts, and I'm using this in hopes of creating cautionary tales that these children don't have this happen to them anymore. Viewer discretion is advised, and as your official disclaimer. So, South Carolina, y'all take the L for this country bumpkin hood Billy story. These people literally look like they look like cartoon characters, like they don't even look real. Look at this. I'm just saying. If you stood these people next to a turtle, I'm pretty sure that turtle would beat them in a race because they look slow, right? They look slower than global warming. But what they did to this baby that y'all see on my screen, man, y'all just bear with me. If words could speak 1,000, if pictures could speak 1,000 words, man, what they did is just unforgivable. A 14-year-old South Carolina girl with severe disabilities died in April of this year, and now 3 separate family members have been charged in connection with that 14-year-old's death. Now, in May, Heather Baynard, let me get Baynard on the screen. There's old Baynard. Heather Baynard, or excuse me, no, I'm sorry. Heather Baynard's father and mother, 53-year-old David Baynard. Let me see if I get him back up here. David Baynard and 42-year-old Bobby Joe Baynard were charged with murder locally. So I apologize. I got the name wrong. That's Heather. So I didn't mean any disrespect on Heather's name. But David Baynard is 53 years old. And that woman, you cannot tell me she's 42 years old. That means she's like my age, in the middle. You said you think they meant barnyard? They do look like some barnyard creatures. She's 42. I would have gave her maybe 60. I wouldn't have gave her 42. But what do I know? They were charged with murder locally. On Monday, the deceased girl's brother, by the name of Edward Vincent Baynard, who's 20 years old. That boy don't look 20 at all. On the right-hand side, I would have said he's at least 35. He's 20? Boy, he's lived a hard life. But they charged him with murder as well, and as well as several additional counts related to the alleged conditions of the family's home, according to state warrants obtained by lawandcrime.com, which is where we're getting the article. So thank you, lawandcrime.com, for the article. Unnamed relatives of the family cited by the TV station say that the deceased girl had cerebral palsy or cerebral palsy. In warrants, the child is referred to as medically fragile and alleged she was kept in deplorable conditions. Y'all know that term, deplorable. And look, man, I'm not trying to be racist at all. But how many stories have I done just in the past month? Every time that you see these good old white folks, somehow they always have the dirtiest, nastiest, filthiest homes, these country bumpkin barnyard looking creatures. It's not all, but the ones that I present on my channel. The police have been referring to the last, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 of those stories that they said that their homes were flat out filthy. Specifically filled with garbage. It was infested with roaches and covered in animal urine and feces, including in the crib in which that 14-year-old girl lived. The son is a registered respite nurse and a certified personal care assistant assigned to look after his sister, was also charged with child abuse, neglect of a child or helpless person by a legal custodian, as well as 3 counts of ill treatment or torture of animals. Can we get a hashtag life sentence? If these people are this damn stupid, how many years in prison do y'all think they should get? They clearly don't know how to function as adults. Why do they even need to be in our society anymore? Throw them in jail, get cheap labor for the rest of their life. I'd say give them a life sentence in prison. According to a Greenville-based Fox affiliate, WHNS, more than 40 animals were rescued from the Baynard residence. I like saying Baynard. From the Baynard residence, following an investigation into the girl's death by the South Carolina Enforcement Division. Where did they get 40 fucking animals from? Not one, not two, not three, not four. Multiply that by 10. 40. 40. Did the neighbors not know? You know what, Mookie Lola? I was going to do this whole story in my country voice, but I really... I don't want to disrespect the memory of this baby. So I'm going to try to behave. I promise. I'm going to try to behave. 40 animals in the Baynard residence. It was a pretty bad situation, Cherokee County Humane Society Treasurer Beth Osment told the TV station. And it was difficult to get the animals. It took several hours. They were dehydrated, they were fearful and hungry. And some definitely needed medical attention. I don't even know why they talk about the animals. They need to talk about this 14-year-old girl that they killed. In fact, one dog was dead, and a warrant paints an even bleaker picture of the creatures who lived inside the allegedly filthy house. Every other animal inside was allegedly found severely malnourished, dehydrated, and infested with fleas and worms. And additional 2 dogs are said to have been beyond the point of saving. So it sounds like they had to put them down. The 3 dogs' deaths are attributed to Edward Baynard's alleged neglect. This is the worst case of neglect that we have ever seen in this county, according to Cherokee County Sheriff Steve Mueller said in April, according to the Spartanburg, South Carolina News. I'm going to just say news. It was very clear and obvious. Excuse me, sorry. Still a little sick. It was very clear and obvious to me that once I began my examination of this handicapped child, that there had been severe neglect from caregivers, according to County Coroner Dennis Fowler, also said at the time of Heather Baynard's death, according to the TV station. David Baynard and Bobby Joe Baynard were also additionally charged this week with child abuse, unlawful neglect of a child or a helpless person by a legal custodian. The parents were rearrested, and the trio were booked and went through bond court on Monday evening and are being held with no bond in the Cherokee County Detention Center. Family members told the Greenville News that they were horrified by the news of the girl's death. I just remember being shocked, and Aunt to Heather Baynard identified only as Rebecca. Just in a state of confusion, I just didn't understand, and we want justice for Heather. So I think I can skip some of this other information. So let me give you guys the fair usage. I don't know why they shouldn't get a life sentence, but let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Do us a favor. You can help this video out. Share this story. Simple thing to do is just click the thumbs up. It'll share this video. More people will see it. YouTube will recommend it. And more people can engage because we need to talk about this. Absolutely ridiculous.
14-year-old girl's mother and father are facing murder charges in connection with her death.
Authorities in Cherokee County announced the charges against David and Bobby Bernard on Friday. Family members identified the girl as Heather Bernard. Investigators say the autopsy determined Heather suffered from acute and chronic medical neglect. Family told us that Heather had a stroke in utero as well as premature birth, which led to a lifetime of complications. The family has requested we don't show their faces, but they want people to know about Heather.
Seeing her stimulation from things like lights and sounds from around her. So that's how we just always communicated with her, was, enjoying those moments of when she actually responded to things.
Authorities said Heather died at a hospital in early April. Bond has been denied for David and Bobby Baynard, her parents.
We have some breaking news tonight.
14-year-old girl's mother.
In Cherokee County, a father and mother have been arrested following the death of their child. Officials held a press conference moments ago about the death of a 14-year-old. Bobby and David Bernard are both charged with murder. According to the coroner, the child was brought to the hospital earlier this month and was unresponsive. The coroner says the child later died at the hospital. We're told the child had multiple disabilities and the parents did not provide proper care.
I just find it hard to believe that no other family members have been by this house, seen how filthy and disgusting it was, and knew about the condition of this girl. I just find that hard to believe. I think somebody knew, saw something, and didn't say anything. That's my personal opinion. But I know somebody had to have known something.
It is the absolute worst case of child neglect I've seen in my 15 and a half years as coroner of Cherokee County. The living conditions in that house by this innocent handicapped child was not fit for any human to be, even a dog.
Officials say Bobby and David Bernard appeared for a hearing this morning where they were denied bond.
We have some breaking news tonight out of Cherokee County. The brother of a teen girl who died now faces murder charges in connection with her death.
The family of 14-year-old Heather Baynard said she had cerebral palsy and died earlier this year. In April, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office charged her parents, David and Bobby Baynard, with her murder. And now SLED is charging her 20-year-old brother Edward Baynard with murder and ill treatment of animals, and charging Edward and his parents with child abuse and neglect. Warrants say Heather's doctor's appointments were canceled repeatedly and she lived in deplorable conditions.
Okay. So I'm surprised. I don't know if anybody caught this. Another one of our popular hashtags is hashtag babies for benefits, because you'd have to ask yourself, if these people allowed this girl to deteriorate into this condition to the point to where she died, let these dogs and these animals, I don't even know if what they said it was a couple dogs, but 40 animals though, like what type of animals did they have? This ain't a day. It was like a zoo, an unkept zoo. 40 animals? 40. And nobody knew nothing, really? I just find that hard to believe. This is a ideal situation to say hashtag babies for benefits, because they clearly never loved this individual. Even the youngest person in this story, the boy, I think, or the brother right there, however old he is in his younger 20s, has a job as a caretaker and took on legal responsibility to take care of this child. So not only is that what his job and profession is, he neglected that, but him being part of the legal custodians of this child and allowed that to happen, I think makes it even worse. And that clearly shows that they probably were getting a benefit, a check from the state, and they were just using that to their own benefit and clearly didn't give a crap. But make sure you guys share the memory of Heather. And like I said, man, just absolutely crazy. R.I.P. When you see something, you absolutely have to say something. And I think that if any other family members knew about this, I think they need to get a few months in jail, in prison, at the very least. But all of them, I see no reason for them to be in our society anymore. Life sentence. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thank you.